Good morning, Greater Manchester. It's coming up to 9:15. Now, last month, Ross Harper came on our breakfast show looking for help in meeting the lady of his dreams. He'd become a bit disillusioned with the whole dating scene, so we put our dating doctor, Dan Sodergren, to work. Thanks for coming in again, guys. Now, we'll quickly just recap on when you came on. You were a bit not you.
Sorry.
You were a bit disillusioned with the sort of superficiality of women. You found that when you went out trying to meet a lady or just out in a bar with mates, the women that you met weren't looking for the things that you were interested in.
Well, yeah, it all became... It was really... It sort of stemmed from this diva mentality thing, the new Cosmo woman that's sort of been created, this wag mentality where women are going out with a checklist, a tick list of what exactly they want, and it's very focused, and that's it. They don't bring anything else to the party. So it was more of a little bit of a dig back that, you know, some of the guys are getting a little bit wise to this. And if we're looking for something that's going to be a life partner or something like that, we want them to bring a little bit more to the party, really.
These kinds of women can be a bit naive, I think, because they think they're offering it all and they're trying to grab it all, but they're not.
But actually, half the time, they're not. I think also, just coming back to what you were saying, sometimes nowadays men... We've got an equality thing going on, and men have realised that actually some of these women can be very, very superficial and can be quite shallow, and they're not really doing themselves any justice as well. So I think it's normally a cry that women have got to kind of bring the game up a bit more. Yeah. Men have also got to do exactly the same. So
I'll be honest with you, Ross, these Cosmo women get me down as well a little bit. So we'll talk about what... they do. They're hypocritical. So talk about the treatment you gave Ross.
Oh, God.
Yeah. It's been a horrible series of sessions. Gruelling series of sessions.
I've got the bruises.
Yeah, to prove. Really, what we do, the first week we go through what the gentleman would actually like, what the client actually wants out of life itself as well. But also then we start teaching about how to meet new people. I think a lot of the time we meet friends of friends of friends, or we go to the same bars, and we don't actually kind of widen our social circle or meet completely new people. All that's to do with kind of being able to approach women, confidence levels, that kind of thing. Confidence levels, no problem at all, but it's learning the skills of approaching people that are completely new. And also being able to hold a conversation that's really interesting, really dynamic, and kind of putting yourself in a really, really positive way straight away in the first 3 minutes.
Outside of your comfort zone.
Outside of your comfort zone, exactly, which is the biggest thing. And a lot of men, and also, from what I've been hearing, a lot of women hate doing that as well, which is most probably why, in their defence...
It's scary, isn't it, Ross?
Well, also, definitely. I mean, any guy will be able to tell you, so going into a bar and actually trying to approach a woman, let's say, is probably one of the most nerve-wracking things any guy's got to do. And, you know, good-looking girls, you know, for the most part, are getting hit on by drunk guys and all this. So they've already built up the sort of their protection barrier. And really, it's that sort of thing that you've sort of got to overcome from a guy's point of view, is one, sort of to get over that fear, sort of step outside of your comfort zone, and you can have a hell of a lot of fun with it, really. So
tell us what you took from the advice from the course that Dan put you through.
It was exactly that, really. It was stepping outside of your comfort zone, but having fun with it, and sort of taking this sort of stigma of, you know, you're approaching chat-up lines, all of this. It's nothing to do with like that. It's more to do with a confidence level, just engaging people in conversation. Take this, I'm here to pull you sort of scenario out of the mix, really, so everyone can relax, engage in conversation, and just sort of, again, make friends. It's not just sort of targeted towards a girl or anything like that.
Yeah.
It can be done in general, and it's a sort of a nice, sort of refreshing way about going about things.
I think it'd be quite refreshing for women as well to be talked to as a human being rather than somebody who's, you know, an intended partner for the night.
Yeah. Well, it's also, I mean, that's the thing. It's, you know, we've got to stop objectifying people and saying, right, that's the one for me, therefore let's do this. We've got to be a lot more social, and I think men don't always learn how to be social. They usually stand there with their drinks and their mates together, and they just look at women and they stare at them, and they wonder why that doesn't really work. Well, there's a reason for that, guys. It's quite simple. Yeah, exactly. You know, to quite a popular phrase. So I'm just trying to teach people to become a bit more social, a bit more dynamic, and I'm going to be doing it in a series of workshops and things, and hopefully we can, you know, we can teach people more and more about this.
And the big question on everybody's lips, Ross, success?
In what sense?
Have you met a lady?
I've met plenty of ladies.
Yeah. But like you said, as you reiterated earlier, it's about widening your options. It's not about specifically getting the one just yet.
No. Not just now, is it? You know, and also you've got to obviously meet several people, you know, and be able to elicit values, which I think is something that you weren't doing before. Yeah. That's the most important thing. Finding out about the person, learning if they're not a gold digger, that's the most important thing, and putting yourself forward in a positive way.
But you do feel like that's happening?
Yeah, I mean, actually, sort of referring back to that, I think one of the major sort of breakthroughs is, before, I used to get very negative if, you know, starting a conversation with a girl and she'd sort of come out and say, what do you do, what do you drive? I would take that as like, oh, here we go, it's sort of qualifying questions, I'm not interested if that's what, you know, and label them as this sort of gold digger, where really, actually, Dan has sort of pointed out that, no, that's probably them equally as nervous and wanting to create a conversation themselves. You know, it's the easiest thing that comes into head, and I've sort of probably shut that down sometimes.
So you've learned a bit about yourself as well. Well, you'll have to stay in touch, Ross, and let us know how you get on. We're all dying to see you get wed. We're going to go to Michelle now.